Fire up your setups and lock in. Broadcasting straight out of the 918, we are turning the volume all the way up. From the epic tournament clutches to the ultimate community plays, this is your frontline pass to the gaming scene. Tap the ready button. You're listening to T Town Spawn Point Podcast. Let's play. Welcome. I'm Mr. Edge. Welcome to the first episode of T Town Spawn Point. For our first episode, we're taking you behind the scenes at T Town Esports. I'm joined in the studio by someone right in the center of the action, the assistant manager of T Town Esports, Destry. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
All right, first and foremost, I want to get a little bit of background on you, on your history in esports and your collegiate level esports stuff. If you could give us a little background on that, that would be awesome.
Sure, yeah. So I've been a gamer my entire life. Of course, I started just playing, video games sitting on my dad's lap while he was playing them. And then, of course, he upgraded me, giving me a controller of my own. Then once I turned probably 13 years old, I got an Xbox 360 and got into the shooter genre, played Call of Duty, Halo, all those greats while I was growing up. And then, of course, that still continued into my adulthood. While I was going to college, or I would just say drifting through college, it was approached by somebody who was starting the esports club. This was about 2019, 2020. I was about 20 years old, excuse me. And whenever he approached me at first, I didn't really think it was going to be much more than just a club. But whenever I continued going through there, whenever I went through the tryout process and got to really know what this program was going to be about, I realized that there was actual scholarship opportunities, and that's whenever I started taking it a bit more serious and tried out to be a team captain for their Overwatch program. And yeah, we did okay as a team. This was at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, and the program was great. And then after I was finished, I looked for other career opportunities in the Tulsa area, and yeah, this is how I found where I'm at now, which is T Town Esports, and started off as, of course, a normal crew member and worked my way up to be assistant manager here, and have been here for about 4 years. So.
Yeah, we love having you out here. You've been a great help and done wonders for this place since we opened, so I appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunities you have.
All right. So going into it, running a gaming center sounds like a dream job for a lot of people, but I know there's a ton going on behind the scenes that players never see. Walk us through a typical week and what does a standard day look like for you as you setting up the space before the doors open?
Sure, yeah. So before the players get there, of course, we got to turn on the lights, make sure all the PCs are ready, and everybody knows right whenever you sit down to play a game, of course, it's going to have an update ready for you before you can even play. Something we don't want our players to experience whenever they sit down to play here. We want everything to be ready to go before they even get the chance to run into any hiccups. So one of our very first things that we do is we log on to one of our computers and begin the updates. Thankfully, our servers that we use, GG Leap and Rock, make it super simple to just run updates on one computer, and then it gets applied and pushed to all 45 computers in the center. So thankfully, we do not have to update every single computer at once. It makes the process a lot easier. Going forward, we look to see if we have any events scheduled for that day, prepare for those. Some days it might be some academy practices for our youth esports teams. Other days it might be a birthday party or maybe some other special event that we have, maybe a bigger tournament that we're expecting a large turnout for. So no matter what, we're looking at our schedule, seeing what we need to prepare for the day. And then after that, it's just daily operations stuff, making sure our concessions stocked, getting prepared for the new customers that are coming throughout the day, turning the TVs on, making sure we have advertisements playing on them. But yeah, that's just a couple of the things that we do to prepare for people whenever they come in.
So it's not just mainly being an employee there. You get to play games all day. It's actual work.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's a big misconception. A lot of people think whenever they're getting into esports is, yes, I just get to play games all day long and make money doing it. And while, there might be some career opportunities that provide that, like streaming, of course, any streamer will tell you there's a bit more to it than just playing games all day. But more in my position and experience, there's a lot more than just playing games. Actually, I don't ever really pick up a controller and play a game while I'm on the clock. Unless, I might help out somebody for just a second or try to help them get through a level. But typically, yeah, I'm in the business of helping people play games instead of playing them myself. So
And I've noticed ever since I started working over here and helped grow this place, I don't really play video games as much as I used to now because I'm around it all day, every day. What about yourself?
yeah, that is something that I've kind of went through a couple phases with myself. I have slowed down on playing as much games as I used to before I started working here, but I've really made sure not to get too burnt out and having a healthy hobby or having a healthy balance of other hobbies to be able to participate in really helps out because yeah, before I found some of those other hobbies, whenever I was going to video games all day long at work and then coming home to more video games, it just didn't really feel the same for a little bit. But yeah, I think during that time I just needed a little bit of a mental break and to find some other things that I enjoyed. So
Yeah, that's how I feel too. It's pretty crazy on the way it works is when you start working at an esports place, you really don't get to play games or you want to play games as much anymore. Like, yeah, I still like to play my competitive game every once in a while, but nowhere near as much as I used to.
oh yeah, I agree. So after I am no longer a competitive or on a competitive esports team currently. Definitely taking a step back from playing some of those competitive games. Again, I might go through phases where, 2 or 3 months, I might be on a Valorant competitive grind or something, but I find more oftentimes than not, I'm playing those relaxing games like Minecraft or maybe some single player games or stuff like that just to be able to relax.
But yeah, it's a lot about relaxing after a long day at work. Well, every community has its own unique flavor. When people come in to the center, what's the overall vibe? Are you seeing a more casual squad coming in after school and work, or does the crowd lean more towards the hardcore tournament grinding competition type?
So a bit of both, and it's trying to balance the interest of both of those groups of people that come in. I would say probably a slight majority of the time, people were more coming here for the casual experience, for more of a social enjoyment and relaxation, a place to just come play games right next to their friends or make new friends. But of course, we still get a lot more of those competitive gamers, and we want to be able to cater to them too. So having weekly tournaments and stuff like that, make sure that they get their fix in as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I see it's a lot of more kid based than it is adult based, but we're trying to switch that up. I heard. What's your opinion on the demographic between children and adults?
Sure, yeah. So I remember whenever we very first opened here in Tulsa, we kind of expected a bit more of an older demographic, but quickly realized that the people who were coming in the door were on the younger side and found a little bit more ways to cater towards them. And thankfully, they're the ones who, I mean, I would contribute to keeping our doors open for the past 4 years, just because they are or a big majority of that demographic that comes in. So at first, I wasn't super fond of the idea. I was like, I do not know about working around kids 24/7 and was super scared that we were going to just turn into a daycare. And now, I mean, we say that as a joking sense, but luckily we're not really a daycare as much as we're just a safe space for these kids to come and play games, maybe get coached up whenever they're on the academy team, make some new friends, and it has been something that I've enjoyed or ended up enjoying more than I thought I would. So
That's awesome, man. That's super cool. Yeah, the kids definitely make it a different type of environment and different type of experience for sure. So I want to ask a question. What was the craziest, most memorable community moment that you've witnessed inside the venue, whether it's an insane tournament comeback or a great community gathering? Yeah, share me an experience that you had.
sure, yeah, it's gonna be hard to pinpoint one because, of course, every day in here is a joy because, again, we're getting to provide an experience that isn't really anywhere else for some of these kids, and so every day brings its own, highlight of experiences. But I would say the one that really sticks out in my mind of being the most impactful while working here was, there was a time where there was a kid who was on the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and his one wish was to be able to play some video games with his favorite YouTuber. And thankfully, the people over at Make-A-Wish Foundation was able to get in contact with that favorite YouTuber, and was able to set up a time to help fly him out, and they rented the entire center or reserved it, for just him and his YouTuber to play a variety of games and bounce from one setup to the next, just having fun all day long. And so that's something that really made me happy and made me proud of what I do and the people I get to impact while I'm working here.
That's awesome. I bet that kid was so happy to be able to spend that time with his favorite YouTuber.
Definitely. That's any kid's dream for sure, and yeah, just to see him get to live out that dream, it was awesome.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about events. Hosting a successful tournament, a community night, takes a lot of moving parts, from choosing the right game to balancing brackets and managing the crowd. What's the biggest challenge you face when putting a major event together?
That's a great question. So a lot of people will come and ask us, although we do have weekly tournaments for some of our most popular games like Super Smash Brothers, some people come and ask how come they don't see more tournaments on our calendar. And we've definitely tried, and we've made attempts to do tournaments for a variety of games, for shooters, more casual ones as well. But we found, there's a couple of hurdles that we gotta jump over to make sure that people have a great time while they're there. First and foremost, to get people in the door, a lot of the times you'll need some type of prize to get them in the door. Whether that is, a prize pool where you're giving some of the proceeds back to them. So either that's going to cut into your budget, or you're going to have to go find a sponsor for that type of prize, or some other type of reward for coming in. Usually will help get a big crowd. And if there's not that big crowd, then the couple of people that did come will kind of be disappointed if there's only 3 or 4 other participants that showed up whenever they were expecting something a lot bigger. So tournaments, they do take a lot of work to get set up. So the preparation for that is probably the biggest hurdle in my opinion. Once things are kind of set in place and once the tournament is ready, I actually really enjoy getting to run through a tournament and get to host and announce, and go through the bracket. And I guess one other thing that would be pretty difficult is technical difficulties. Of course, you got to know not only how to fix them, but some of the times if you're the tournament organizer, you're gonna have to be the judge on what happens. Are the players gonna restart the game entirely? Are we going to just have to move on? And sometimes not everybody's happy in that situation. So it's constantly, trying to make sure you are doing what you think is right and making the best attempt that you can to have a fun and successful tournament.
Yeah, and out of the big tournaments that we've done, Dustry, which one do you think was the most successful when it comes to even like OESL, OKSE? And for everyone that doesn't know what that is, that's our local high school league that we host here at T Town Esports. Out of all the tournaments that we've hosted, which one do you think was the most successful out of all of them?
So yeah, a couple stick out in my mind, just like you even mentioned at OKSE. They bring out multiple schools from the Oklahoma esports scene to come participate in tournaments during their fall and spring seasons, whenever they're in season. So that's a huge reach. A lot of these schools are traveling maybe 1 to 5 hours to come out here to compete. Another one of the bigger ones that we had was a $4,000 Rainbow Six Siege tournament that Oral Roberts University had sponsored for that. So that was a really big pool, and we had some pretty legitimate teams come and compete for that bigger prize pool. Another one that really sticks out is the Amateur Esports Association, the AEA. They do a national tournament every year. Theirs is a little bit different, to where they'll pick a couple of venues across the U.S. and request that people show up to one of those venues. And so we're one of, I think 5 venues. But we see a lot of people from down in Texas, and some of the other surrounding states, Kansas, Arkansas, that will travel pretty far for their kids to come compete in that. And so yeah, those are just a couple, but almost every tournament you're getting to meet new faces that have traveled from all over.
That's pretty cool that T Town does that for the community out in the local high school scene. Well, as the 918 gaming scene is constantly evolving, from your vantage point at the major hub, Where do you see local communities heading over the next couple of years? What excites you most about the future here?
That's a great question. Of course, the gaming scene is constantly evolving, like you said. Everybody is a gamer, it seems like, because mobile gaming has really introduced them to playing small little games here or there to kill some time. And so a lot of the times, even whenever you ask somebody if they're a gamer and they tell you no at first, they're kind of lying because I guarantee you they probably have at least one or two games on there. So it's getting introduced to a lot more people. Also, gamers getting older now, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be in some aspects, but now these gamers who became hardcore gamers and continued to be through adulthood are now reaching 50, 40, 50, 60 years old and are now continuing that hobby. And so that's something that's really unique to see that we typically don't. We're loving to see, continued growth with some of the charities that we work with gaming and seeing it introduced to so many different aspects of life that I never thought gaming would be related to. With our veteran community, they come and they meet here pretty frequently, and they use that just for fellowship and for team bonding. Team bonding in general, that's a huge thing where different organizations can come here and just, improve on their teamwork together. And then shoot, we've brung out esports competitions to cheerleading events, which I never would thought would have been a good idea. But hey, those little brothers have to have something to do while they're watching or waiting for little sis or big sis rather to go and perform as well. So just seeing it get introduced to so many different aspects in life, that's honestly something that I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the traveling events that we used to do. I wish we could do more of them. So before I let you go back to the floor and get back to work, we're gonna start doing a lightning round, rapid fire lightning round with all of our guests. Just share the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you these questions. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. PC gaming or console gaming for community space?
Let's see, for community, console. Consoles are more beginner friendly. A lot more people, even if you're a PC gamer, typically know how to play console as well. So, console.
Okay. What is the ultimate undisputed tournament game of all time?
Undisputed tournament game of all time that I've seen personally has got to be Super Smash Brothers. Although I'm not big into playing it, that is something that I've seen people come out to play. So
The best snack or drink fuel available at the counter right now?
that has got to be our brand new Bum Energy watermelon flavor in particular. Tried that last night and I love it.
Pretty good.
So good.
I haven't tried it yet. I've been wanting to.
It is amazing.
What about snacks?
Snack wise, oh snap. It's got to be the honey bun, but not just the stock honey bun. No, throw that in the microwave for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it's ready to go. It's so good.
One piece of advice for gamers looking to find a squad locally.
Come to a place like T Town Esports, or if we're not too close to you, find another local esports place if there's one nearby. I guarantee you there's somebody there who is just waiting for someone else to come ask them to join in on a game. We see it here all the time, and I guarantee you that would definitely help to build your squad.
I love it. Thank you so much for stopping by the spawn point and giving us a peek behind the curtain. For everyone listening who wants to check out T Town Esports, jump into a casual night or join the community, where can they find you online and in person?
So, of course, townesports.com is where you can find the business. You can find me here pretty much every day on the weekday. If you're looking for personal, of course, Destroy is my gamer tag. You can find me on Discord or in our Discord group here at T Town. And yeah, I'd be down to play a game with you anytime. So shoot me a message on there.
That's awesome, Destry. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course, thank you for having me again.
And that wraps up another episode of T Town Spawn Point Podcast. Huge shout out to our special guest Destry for stopping by and giving us an exclusive look at what it really takes to run T Town Esports. Remember, the local gaming community only grows when we squad up, so stop solo queuing, head out to T Town Esports, and let's keep leveling up the 918 together. Don't get left on that loading screen. Make sure to hit that follow button so you never miss an episode drop. GG's everybody. Stay locked in and we'll see you back at the spawn point next week.